Have you heard of the lost city of Atlantis? The mystery, the stories, the truth, and not-so-truth about this lost civilization. Stay with us as we make an attempt to pull back the shroud and uncover the lure of the lost city of Atlantis. So, who were the unknown and unheard of islanders of mythology? The Atlanteans were first described by Plato in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias as a powerful and advanced civilization that existed around 9,000 years before his time. According to Plato, Atlantis was a massive island or continent beyond the Pillars of Hercules, now known as the Strait of Gibraltar, and its people were technologically and militarily advanced. The Atlanteans were initially a prosperous and virtuous civilization, but over time, they became morally corrupt and overambitious, eventually falling out of favor with the gods. Plato describes the Atlanteans as having a sophisticated society with advanced architecture, engineering, and agricultural systems. They allegedly built magnificent cities with complex canals, irrigation systems, and grand temples, particularly dedicated to their god Poseidon, whom they worshipped as the protector of the island. Atlantis was a wealthy, highly developed society with access to resources and technologies that outpaced other civilizations of its time. One of the main reasons the Atlanteans remain shrouded in mystery is due to the nature of Plato's account itself. Plato presents the story of Atlantis in an ambiguous manner, leaving modern historians and scholars uncertain as to whether it was a factual account or an allegorical tale. Some believe Plato used Atlantis as a cautionary parable about the dangers of hubris, greed, and imperialism, modeled after the city of Athens' own political trajectory. With a lack of concrete evidence and mistranslations, it's easy to see why this lost city remains a mystery today. But why is this civilization still on the minds of researchers around the world? Well, the technological advancements attributed to Atlantis, including their engineering, maritime prowess, and the construction of monumental architecture, are often seen as being beyond the capabilities of the time period in which they were said to exist. This leads to further speculation that if Atlantis did exist, it may have belonged to an advanced civilization that predates what mainstream archaeology acknowledges. The idea of such a lost civilization contributes to the enduring allure of Atlantis as a real place, hidden from history by time and catastrophe. According to Plato, Atlantis featured grand temples, palaces, and a complex urban layout with concentric rings of land and water connected by canals. The capital city was said to be a marvel of engineering. The precision and scale of their buildings imply an advanced understanding of mathematics and engineering principles, possibly surpassing those of ancient Egypt or Mesopotamia. The Atlanteans were described as master navigators, with fleets capable of long-distance voyages. This maritime prowess might have allowed them to explore and influence other cultures across the Atlantic and Mediterranean. Some theories suggest Atlantis engaged in extensive trade, exchanging goods and knowledge, thereby spreading their advanced technologies. They reportedly utilized sophisticated irrigation systems, including canals and aqueducts, to manage water resources effectively. Their agricultural methods might have included crop rotation and soil preservation techniques, not widely adopted until much later. The alignment of their structures with celestial bodies suggests a deep understanding of astronomy, which they may have used for navigation and calendrical purposes. Planning and construction of their city imply the use of advanced geometry and possibly even concepts akin to calculus. This timeline of Atlantis existed around 9,000 years before Plato's time. As he suggested, it would place the civilization around 11,600 years ago, roughly 9,600 BCE. This predates ancient Egypt, Sumer, and other early civilizations by several millennia. Some theorists speculate that survivors of Atlantis migrated to regions like Egypt, bringing advanced knowledge that kick-started the rise of Egyptian civilization. The similarities in pyramid structures found in Egypt and Mesoamerica have led to conjecture about a common source of architectural inspiration. Civilizations like the Maya and Aztecs built pyramids and had advanced understanding of astronomy and mathematics, leading some to propose a connection to Atlantis. Ancient sites like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, dated to around 9,500 BCE, support the idea that organized societies with complex structures existed earlier than traditionally thought. The discovery of this site has challenged conventional timelines, suggesting that advanced societies existed earlier than previously believed. Some historians speculate that Atlantis might be based on an actual historical event, but that the story was altered over time through mistranslations or exaggeration. The idea that Atlantis was a real city or empire that suffered a cataclysmic disaster resonates with stories from various other cultures, such as the biblical flood or the Epic of Gilgamesh. These recurring themes across different civilizations suggest that Atlantis may have been an embellished version of a real disaster. Given Plato's account of the timeline, which places the fall of the lost civilization of Atlantis at the 11,600 year ago range, this is the precise time of the end of the Younger Dryas period of the last ice age, which ended at the same time. We know that this time was riddled with megaflows of water, so what caused the catastrophic melting of the great ice sheets of the period? Well, no one knows that. Let's remember, the ice sheets that covered the northern United States were miles high of thick ice, which would have had an unprecedented amount of water locked up in the ice, including water that was dammed behind or under the ice sheets. But looking at current land features in North America, it's evident that a cataclysm of biblical proportions befell the world at the end of the last ice age, evidenced by the high water marks at Clark Fork Valley and the Missoula mega flood event. Did the Great Flood at the end of the last ice age take out the Atlanteans? Maybe we will never know. But despite centuries of interest in Atlantis, there is no direct archaeological evidence to support the existence of such a civilization. This absence of concrete proof leads many to view Atlantis as a mythical city rather than a historical reality. However, the mystery deepens with occasional discoveries of submerged ruins, ancient artifacts, and geological anomalies that have been linked, though not conclusively, to the legend of Atlantis. The Atlanteans remain one of history's greatest enigmas, their story blending elements of fact, myth, and allegory. While Plato's account provides the foundation, the lack of artifact evidence, the possibility of mistranslation, and the fascination with advanced civilizations contribute to the mystery. Whether Atlantis was a real place or a philosophical lesson, the legend continues to captivate imaginations worldwide. If you enjoyed this journey through the ancient story of the lost city of Atlantis, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an adventure. There are countless more stories from history waiting to be told, right here on Rest and Relax. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.